start off, we met with Cumberland's very own professional Maine historian, Twitter verified, Bill Green.
I'm here with Bill Green from Bill Green's Maine to talk about Maine's historical significance here at WCSH's headquarters.
Hey, it's interesting to me that our history is significant to our tourism. People come here seeking these interesting historical adventures, and those sites where they visit are scattered all about.
Then we visited the Maine Historical Society, where we met with Steve Bromage, Jamie Rice,
and John Babbitt.
They showed us around the Longfellow House and the Brown Library.
So this is the original well. Longfellow Garden. 8 pages of instructions that she left. She asked that this library be built for the Maine Historical Society.
Not normally open to the public, we were gracious enough to be able to see both the attic and the basement.
So this room here was the poet's bedroom.
We were also able to see the rainy day room, where Longfellow wrote his infamous poem, The Rainy Day, read here by Eben Kiesow.
The rainy day. The day is cold and dark and dreary. It rains and the wind is never weary. The vine still clings to the moldering wall, but at every gust the dead leaves fall, and the day is dark and dreary. My life is cold and dark and dreary. It rains and the wind is never weary. My thoughts still cling to the moldering past, but the hopes of youth fall thick in the blast, and the days are dark and dreary.
We then went to see the archives in the Brown Library, where they have over 10,000 books. And in the archives, we saw an original signed poem by Longfellow himself. We also got to see one of the 26 remaining original copies of the Declaration of Independence. And a lock of George Washington's hair. At the Maine Eats exhibit, we had a little bit too much fun.
I am the sandwich.
The 2 lighthouses situated here were the first twin lighthouses on the coast of Maine, both built in 1828. Right down the road is the 41-acre park, mainly used for recreation. It houses a World War II era bunker as well as a fire control tower. The breathtaking coastline and views make this a popular tourist attraction.
So we're here at Fort Williams Park in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Fort Williams was built in 1898 and was used until 1962. It was used in World War I, World War II, and the Cold War to defend the United States of America.
Another attraction of this park is the battery at Fort Williams, which was built to protect the Portland Harbor in 1906. Today, visitors can walk around the battery, which is now deteriorating due to age, weather, and the testing of the guns on December 8, 1941. In 1787, the Portland headlight was commissioned by the General Court of Massachusetts. The lighthouse was finished in 1791 and was kept fully functioning until 1989 when it was automated. In 1962, the town of Cape Elizabeth purchased Fort Williams for $200,000, equivalent to $1.7 million today.
In 1886,
the Annie C. McGuire shipwrecked here on Christmas Eve coming from Argentina.
For lunch, we grabbed a quick bite at the world-famous Lobster Shack at Two Lights.
About Joshua Chamberlain's significance in Maine and how it's represented in the museum.
Most people know him because of his leadership at the Battle of Gettysburg during the Civil War. He led the 20th Maine Regiment, and that helped change the tide of the war. He also was chosen by Ulysses S. Grant to accept the surrender of the South at Appomattox when the war ended. He went on to be governor of Maine for 4 terms. He then was president of Bowdoin College for a number of years. We have his boots from Gettysburg. We have his horse's saddle. We have his governor's desk. So Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, he and his first wife lived in the house. They rented rooms there. The Longfellow room, we call it that because that's one of the rooms that Henry and his wife rented when Henry Longfellow came to his 50th Bowdoin College reunion. He was invited over by Chamberlain to come to the house and supposedly stood there in tears because the wallpaper was still the same.
As far as tourists and just visitors, do you have any idea of how many people come to see the museum?
We get a couple thousand up at Chamberlain. Our total attendance is about 5,000, but Chamberlain is about 2,000 of that.
Our next stop was the Maine State House.
Originally, the State House was down in Portland. Why was it moved up to Augusta?
Portland was found to be too far south. They moved it to Augusta. They look at a map, we're not really central Maine. Population-wise, we are central Maine. Back then, Augusta was a reasonable compromise, and still is today.
We then went to the Sabbath Day Lake Shaker Village, which is the only Shaker village left in America. We sat down with one of the 2 remaining members, Brother Arnold, to talk about life as a Shaker.
What are the sorts of things when you're not doing group activities like this are you doing?
Work. Our motto is hands to work, hearts to God, so everything that we do has a potential to be worship. This is a Protestant monastic community. It was founded in 1783. We have 1,800 acres of land, 19 buildings on it. And so we follow the rhythm of life.
After that, we got to speak with Michael Graham, who showed us around the hay barn. We then met up with Mary for our official tour.
That is where the girls would have lived, ages 5 to 15.
This is the beam that holds up the building. They took the dead space beside it, and they created this built-in cabinet.
The Shakers embraced new technology. They even invented things such as the circular saw, permacloth, tilt buttons, and the flat broom. Brother Arnold explains it best.
We have always embraced that which is better.
Sister Lizzie came to this village in 1873. In 1896, she discovered the telephone. She purchased 4 of them. Slight problem, there was no telephone lines. Then when the telephone service came to New Gloucester, they were ready to hook up.